is it really? Fear. Fear is our inability to control a situation. You feel you have no control in a certain circumstances, which can bring on fear, particularly in a situation that is pushing you to your demise. And then when you can conclude with that, that fear is about your non-existing, to non-exist. All right? Some will accept the fear. And that's a dangerous spot, because when you accept the fear, you accept the will not to will. And you accept defeat or demise. You accept being less than what you are. Right? That fear could lead to accepting and actions of suicide, doing things, drug addictions, and things that's very detrimental to your existence. And so you don't care to exist. So you feel that you're not worthy to exist. So you accept that fear, and by accepting that fear, you're able to cope with that fear. But what about the fear that you are not in control, but you want to be in control? You want to be able to determine your destiny. You want to be able to have a choice where that choice is in the benefit of furthering your life, or furthering your circumstance or career or dreams or hopes, aspirations. What about that fear, not being able to do that? Right? That's complicated. But in terms of reality, there is a reality that you physically see, and then there's a reality that you do not physically see. You see these images, all of us do. It could be a thought, and that thought brings a picture or a memory. It could be a sound. That sound brings a thought and a picture to mind. We can close our eyes and still see. We can see and still see beyond what we see. The mind, or the heart, in some sense, you have the brain, but you have what we call a mind. The brain is one, physical. The mind is something that is beyond physical. Because you can, your brain could be functioning, but the mind gone. The mind is off. The spirit has, in a sense, left the body, but in some artificial way, the body is yet existing, like a wagon, empty wagon. Nothing's in there. So there's many manifestations of that. So that fear that you are seeing, right, that is on a one level. That's one dimension. As you begin to realize that that is not the only dimension to your existence, you can begin to do the work to break those fears. Like you can move beyond the dimension of what you see. This is a more slow vibration that we're able to see this physical world, but there's a faster vibration, faster than the speed of wind, as they would say, or the speed of sound, as they would say, that those are energies that exist beyond the physical. And we can see signs of these things. Like I said, we can see signs of these things because we have something we call our dream world. We have something called like our gut feeling. You know, we have this thing how thought can travel. And you say you have an idea and someone across the world have the same idea. And y'all have the same idea at the same time, or the idea skips around. These are elements beyond our physical. So if we can tap into and understand that we have unlimited power over this physical or what we see, that could be the beginning of the work to overcome the fear that we physically see. And this is not an easy task because there are many issues within ourselves that we have to work out. Many character branding that have been branded onto us, that we have to understand that they are lies and they are illusions and they are falsehoods. There's many played out memories of other people's lives and other people's effects, what happened to them. And that you apply that math to your life to say, it would happen to me. And so those false narratives have been implanted and a seed have been planted and it's been watered in you not knowing that part of what made up their conclusion was also a part of their, as we could say, their spiritual world that also helped produce that result. And so that doesn't mean that it will produce the same for you. That's as well like these get rich programs and think like me programs. They can begin to, of course, cultivate your mind to think in a new way, but they may not necessarily produce what the teacher has produced simply because you are a different vessel. It has to go through your vessel. It has to go through your chamber. It has to go through all your trash. It has to go through all your green acres, all your pleasantries, beautiful, sweet perfumes and the funky perfumes. It has to be filtered through. And so That's why though some of the programs are good, they will not give the same result necessarily because of the spirit of man. And so going back to, hopefully that made some sense, fear, overcoming fear, you have to adopt spiritual principles. You have to tap in to your divine nature. You have to tap in that you are more, accept that and realize that and tap into it, that you are more than what you see it. Well, how do you do that? Well, just like conversations like this, having conversations like this, and even begin to trust your inner voice, your inner thoughts. Be quick to question everything and give yourself room of error even within questioning and within those inner thoughts. Because all your thoughts are not your thoughts. All your inner voices are coming from different chambers. You have your spirit man, which is the very core of your real you. You have your soul, which is a mix of, it's like a utility. Your soul can be formed from spirit man and external world and other energies. And so you can be, your soul can be connected to something, like a soul connection to something, and the connection could be spiritual or the connection could be physical. And sometimes that take time and work to understand whether that connection is soul related or spiritual related. Like is it your very core speaking, or is it your soul, man, your what's a better way? It's hard to describe. It can only be discovered. And I'm continuing to discover it every day as I live. But think of it like an instrument. Like when I was younger, I played the trombone. And so say that trombone is the soul, right? It has many capabilities, notes that it can arrange, and soft and loud and all these things that it can do. But only when I pick up the instrument and play the instrument, only when I pick it up and play the instrument does it become something, right? That instrument becomes alive, it becomes something, and it can withhold something. And so while I'm playing the instrument, even though, say, the spirit is playing the instrument, as I play, the instrument began to talk back to me in a way. It may be sounds of reflection off the wall. It may be playing, I'm listening to other instruments, or as I'm listening to the instrument itself, it began to speak back to me in a way that influenced me to play the instrument in a different type of way. So the soul can begin to speak and take on its own language. You know how musicians, where you just kind of lose yourself and the instrument is playing. Like you're no longer playing. The instrument is playing. The instrument is leading you. What note, what changes, where to go, and you're just flowing with it. the spirit and the soul is just moving beautifully. And then, of course, there's the physical man, and that's usually just the science of man, the scientific of man. You hit this part and automatically you react by the next. It's cold, you get chills. It's hot, you sweat. Nature, the laws is governed. Your physical man is governed by the laws of nature. It's limited. And so there's just some physical things. I'm hungry, it's gonna lead me to eat. I could get so hungry that it'll lead me to kill, right? That's physical. That's a physical drive. Like that's not the spirit taking over, that's the physical taking over. The spirit and the soul may try to rationalize the physical, to say, hey, we hungry, we real hungry, but let's get this done this way. You see. So going back to fear, family, fear can be manipulated on those many levels, and if you're not in tune with yourself, you can actually begin, or no, someone can actually begin to play you like that trombone. And you'll begin to take on fear of things that is really not your problem. And it's really not for you to be afraid of. You really have power over the thing, but they make you believe that you don't have power over the thing. You got control over the situation, but make you believe that you don't have control of the situation. Let's bring the music because it's so close to my heart. But make you believe that because you're not famous or well known about your music, that you're not good at music. That's a false narrative. That is a false pulling energy, a spell that's been cast over you to see things that way. That's an unnecessary fear, right? And so these fears, these false fears can come about, these paradigms and these characters and these forms, that your life should look like this. Your career should be like this. A musician, someone who wanna do music for a living, it should look like this. Someone who wants to do music, it should look like this. Who said it have to look that way? For you, it could be you have to support your own music. So the great God of the universe bless you with skills to be able to support your own self, to do your own music. And you're living good, you're living fine, and you're living happy. But you're like, well, the other people, they don't have to pay for their music. They got someone paying for their music. And they got people paying them for their music to make music. And that's fine, and that's great. I think that's a sweet opportunity. But just because that is not happening to you, or if it's for you or happening for you, that doesn't make it or place fear in your life that you're not able to do what you want to do. You are doing what you want to do, right? It's you want to do what they have told you to be. And that is causing fear. What someone else has told you to be is the very thing that is causing you fear. Well, we have 20 minutes. So I wanted to get on here and just shed a little light because earlier today I had a conversation with someone, and you know, the COVID vaccine and all that. They might cut my cut this vid because I done said that word. But just the fear that people, I sense, are having, and by that fear is driving them to do things that maybe they wouldn't normally do. So I'm just maybe giving some thought in how to exercise your inner man and how to work out these problems of fear. I may have to go back and listen to my own words here because, you know, everything is a cipher 360. You know, it continues. These lessons keep circling in different formats, different degrees, different areas of life. The lesson, it keeps circling. We learn, and we may go to the next degree, and the wheel keeps going faster and getting faster and faster and faster as we begin to learn more stuff and new angles of the same lesson. So, peace and love to you. Look out for me soon. I have a new EP coming out. LA Knickers is somewhat dedicated to Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I think you're gonna really love this. It's featuring Adrian Morris. I gotta, at some point, maybe do a live with Adrian. We'll get on here and talk about it. So please go to my link in the bio and sign up. Join my email. You like these type of talk? You see what type of brother I am. So my music gonna be in the same energy, same type of spirit behind that on my music. So yeah, go to the link, click the link, click sign up, drop your email so you can stay in touch with me. Peace and love. I'll see y'all in the wind.